Today, I'm going to go over 4 big mistakes that officiants make not only when they're getting started, but also seasoned officiants make on accident sometimes, and I'm going to tell you how you can avoid making them and being embarrassed. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Grow My Officiant Business. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go over these mistakes, but first of all, I want to thank you for joining me and thank you for watching these videos of mine. I wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for you. So if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, comment on this video, ask me questions, and head to the website to get the free resources that you probably already know about, the Quick Start Guide for Officiants and the Guide to Building Wedding Business Relationships, growmyofficiantbusiness.com. Now that that's out of the way, I want to dive into this because these are some of the items that are in questions that I get a lot from not only new officiants, but officiants who make mistakes and people who just want to do a better job at officiating. They're like, what are some of the mistakes that people tend to make that I can avoid? These are 4 of the big ones that I have selected because I feel like out of everything that's involved in officiating, there are some things that you just shouldn't do that not only, I don't think they'll ruin your officiant career, but they might get you bad reviews or a bad reputation in some circles. So number 1, assuming what type of ceremony the couple wants based off of a few conversations or based off of what you think that couple is like. Especially here in the United States, we have a big issue sometimes with prejudging people and thinking, oh, those are certain types of people based off of this. Oh, or those people do this, or they talked about this, so they must be this type of couple. Or they like humor because we laughed. And you start getting some of these are silly, I know, but they happen, and you prejudge a couple, not in a bad way, but just trying to gauge what type of ceremony they might want. And instead, what we should do is ask them questions and inform them of the things that we're going to do in the ceremony, and then gauge them based off of the questions that we ask and the answers they give us. So, as you know, if you have read anything that I've put out, you know that I'm a big proponent of the questionnaire. I think that can make or break a ceremony, the way you do it, the information you get. So you should send out a questionnaire and you should customize that questionnaire to every single couple. There's more about that in the guide that I give on my website, and there's other videos about this. But the main thing that you should remember is to introduce yourself to this couple. They've never met you. They don't know if they like and trust you yet until they talk to you. So start having some conversations with them. Get the questionnaire. In fact, I'm going to put a link to a questionnaire. I just did an episode about a free questionnaire that I gave out and you can use as a template. So I'll put the link down below. Go get that questionnaire and use it. Customize it to your couples, to your packages, so that you can learn what type of couple that is. And then you can know exactly what type of ceremony they want. Number 2, getting the name wrong. Yes, a lot of other people, especially on YouTube and other people who teach officiants, have said this. However, there's another side to this that I want to kind of put out there. It's a pet peeve of mine, not only getting the person's name wrong, because yes, I have had ceremonies. I can think of one in particular where I used a template ceremony and I had someone else's name in there. This was actually one of the people that I was marrying. It was the wife, and she was not happy about it. I'll just say that. And when I said it, she gave me an awful look right in the middle of a ceremony, and it's just where I forgot to take a previous client's name out of the ceremony, and I left it in, and I read that name. I wasn't thinking. I read it. I knew it wasn't her name, and I just was reading through it. And that's another reason that you should double check these things. But not only that, let me tell you something else. Also, asking the couple how they would like their names pronounced and writing it down so that you don't accidentally read it and pronounce it wrong in the ceremony, and ask them how they would like to be pronounced at the end of the ceremony. So how do you pronounce the name, that, and how do you want to be pronounced? Like, may I now present Mr. and Mrs. John Smith? Some couples do not want to be announced like that. Some couples do not want, the wife might not want to take the man's name. Maybe the man wants to take the wife's name. You never know. Maybe it's a couple that they're not taking each other's name and they don't want you to pronounce them like that. So make sure that's a part of your questionnaire. That's a part of your process, and you talk that over with them. How do you want me to announce you as a couple at the end? Give them some formats and let them decide for themselves. Ooh, I like that. Or, just whatever's traditional is fine. Oh, so this is how you want it. Read it to them. Let them sign off on it. Otherwise, do not guess how they want you to pronounce them and then announce as a couple who they are. That can be very embarrassing. Next, using words that match your couple are extremely important. Okay, Chad, I know that, but what's the mistake? The mistake is when you're writing a ceremony, a lot of officiants say, I do not want to send them a draft of the ceremony. This is my work, and I don't know. Some of you might think this, and it's not wrong thinking, because yes, it's your work, you've written the ceremony, and you want them to be surprised. But you don't want them to be devastated because you've chosen a word that they would never use and that does not fit them. So it's a good idea, if you don't want to send them a draft of your ceremony, what I do is I plan a call about a week or 2 weeks before the ceremony, and I say, I want to go over this ceremony with you guys. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I'm going to go over the important parts, read through it, and make sure you approve the speech and the flow that I chose for your ceremony. Some couples don't want you to say, until death do us part. Some couples want you to say, now and in the future. And some couples are not soulmates. They don't want to be called soulmates. They want to be called best friends, or they want to be called partners. It's all dependent on that couple and their specific wants and needs. And that is why we use communication and ask them and never assume what words and phrasing to match the couple. Make that part of the questionnaire. Make that a part of your process so you don't make that mistake and get embarrassed. The last one, number 4, is a big one for me because there are a lot of officiants who are great people. They're very communicative. They love to talk. They're very friendly. However, I've seen some officiants, and unfortunately, you can go on YouTube, and some officiants out there have given the rest of us a bad name because they don't do a great job at communicating, not just during the ceremony, but afterwards with the family. And they try to joke around, and I've seen officiants stand there and share things about the couple that the couple told them in confidence. And I've done this on accident, not because I was trying to be a joker, not because I was trying to release a secret of the couple, just because one of the family members would walk up to me and they started talking to me, and I shared something and I thought, oh no, they might not have wanted me to tell that about their lives or about that part of the process or about something they did with their wedding license. Just don't share things that the couple tells you in confidence. Be a very careful professional when you're communicating with anybody besides your couple in what you share. Be professional, say hello, talk a little bit. Small talk is okay, but do not overly joke around. Never say anything about the couple. And if the couple's standing there and they start joking around, it's okay for you to laugh a little bit, but maintain your professional image. I guarantee you your career depends on it. Listen, I hope these 4 things are things that can help you, that you can learn from. Please subscribe if you haven't. Go to my website, growmyofficiantbusiness.com. We're getting some swag there soon, some shirts and coffee mugs and really cool things. So check that out. Otherwise, I can't wait to talk to you again really soon. Have a great day.